Hi. Today I want to give you an illustration. We're gonna look at a high-rise business. The whole high-rise building, is one business. It's an information type business. News broadcast, whatever. Anyway, you have the acquisition department. Well, that's where the data comes in. And you have the data storage, data processing, storage, and approval department. Well, that's the memory banks, and it also approve it before it goes out, or when it comes in, or whatever. And then you have the cognition department. Now these are the brains of the department. Well, they should be. they do what they make the decisions. And then there's the shipping department. So obviously, the data is going to go back out somewhere. Okay, when the data comes in through the acquisition department, it goes next to the data processing, storage, and approval department. Okay, and it's stored there until needed. When the thought comes to the cognition department, they all get together, the whole board gets together and decide to send this information to someone. Okay? They want to send a letter. Okay? But they need to get the data. They need to find out what they know. So they send a memo down to the data processing, storage, and approval department to retrieve data on a certain subject. The data is searched out and sent back up to the cognition department, and they put it together, like writing a book or whatever. And then, so it's put in a certain order. Then, well, they should send it back to the DPSNA for approval. A lot of times they don't, and they can mess you up. It should send it back down for approval. Maybe it's like when you write a book or write an article, you read it over and over, make sure it's all right, and maybe bring it to have your pastor look at it and let him know if it's all right or not, or have other people read it and make sure it's all right. And then they send it to the shipping department, and from the shipping department it goes out. But there's one thing that the DPSNA does. The cognition department doesn't do this. The DPSNA does this in conjunction with the shipping department. What is it? They label it. They're also the labeling department. They label it. They put the shipping address on it, where it's to go, or who it's to go to. The cognition department really doesn't do this. They just send it out. But so that's what it's gonna be. The cognition department may get the information, but they shouldn't send it out just because they think they got it all right. No, they got to send it down to approval, and then it'll go out. Okay, now look at this. We are this business. You are this business. You get the information by the 5 physical senses, right? By your feelings, by your touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. Okay, and so you get the information. And where does it go to? It goes to the heart of the man. That's where the data is stored. If someone were to to make a way to dissect a man spiritually and find out where the knowledge is stored, they wouldn't find it up here in the mind and the head. No, they'd find it in the heart of the man, the core of the man. I'm not talking about the blood pump. I'm talking about the heart of the man, or the core of the man. That's where the money, that's where the knowledge is kept. But okay, now, so it's kept there. Now the cognition department, the head, the mind, makes a decision. Okay, I want to send this information out to Brad, out to so and so, out to Treva, out to Bug Out, or out to you, or whoever. And so they write down. They've got to find out what they know first. So they send a memo down to the DPSNA, the heart of the man, to find out what they know, to get all the information that they know about it, and then that information is then sent up to the head. They put it together. They put it together, like writing a book, writing an article, or whatever. Then it should send it back down to the DPSNA, the heart of the man, to get it approved. Otherwise, it may send the wrong signals. They get it approved, and then they put the label on it, where it's going, and then it goes out the mouth. Gets shipped out. Well, how about this? What if the cognition department did not send it down here, didn't get it approved, didn't get it labeled, just sent it right to the shipping department and sent it out? What about everyone who heard it might think it was directed to them, and they might not like it. But if it goes to the heart of the man, gets approved, and gets labeled, then he can ship it to, then it goes out the mouth, goes right to the person, and it's going to affect the person in the way that it was meant to affect the person. It's going to have the proper effects. It's going to influence the person the right way. Otherwise, it might not. It might influence the people to steal, to do something wrong, to commit murder. But if it goes the right way, it'll get approved by the heart, and it'll go out the mouth to the person that it's directed to. Again, the Lone Ranger, it'll hit the target. It won't just go anywhere. It'll hit the target.